So once working this rule out that K can have two electrons and L, M, or whatever shells we are so far going to consider can have eight electrons, we can now design two rules. These rules are duplet rule and the other one is an octet rule. Now, what is that supposed to mean? Duplet rule, according to the duplet rule, it is basically related to, or it states that elements can have two electrons in their outermost shells. And same goes for octet rule. However, it states that they can have eight electrons in their outermost shells. Now, let's say if we are considering oxygen that has an atomic number of 8. So first working this thing out, number of protons 8. Since it doesn't carry any charge, electrons would be 8. And according to the shell configuration that we have discussed so far, K can have 2 electrons since its maximum capacity is 2. Second shell is L. Now L can have 6 electrons. So 6 plus 2 basically is 8. So how can I explain the group or period of this particular element? See, it has two shells, 1 and 2. So without any uh, calculations, what we can say, second period is suitable for oxygen since it has two shells. And which group? So since it has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. Now when I say outermost shell, this needs to be clearly understood. See, it has two shells, 1 and 2. So this is the in shell and this is the out shell. So outermost shell is basically the L shell. It is since having 6 electrons, so it is placed in group 6 of the periodic table. Let's consider some more examples. For example, if we are working with chlorine, chlorine has an atomic number of 17. So it has basically proton 17 since it doesn't have any charge, electron 17. Then that means K would be having 2 electrons, L would be having 8 electrons, M would be having 7 electrons. So what we can understand here is since it has 3 shells, so its period would be third. And then since its outermost shell, as you can see this clearly here, this is the outermost shell, these are the inner shells. So outermost shell is 7 electrons, so its group should be 7th, or I can write this 7th group.